Meet Dan McLaughlin.
Yesterday, tomorrow, today. Always look to the next one and say that learning comes by tripping up and finding your own way. Hey.
Dan is 32 years old, single, 5'7", 145 pounds. Dan resides in Portland, Oregon, and enjoys biking, fine dining, and good times with friends. By all accounts, Dan is just your ordinary man. That is, until you meet Dan's extraordinary plan.
I wanted to pick something that I had never done before. I wanted to do something that was statistically easy to document progress, and golf with a handicap. I mean, you can show exactly where you are. Psychologists have studied all sorts of people, and the one commonality they found amongst all these people is that once they hit their stride, looking back, they've basically had between 8,000 and 12,000 hours of deliberate practice.
So deliberate practice is very different from just work and play. In deliberate practice, you try to identify something particular that you want to improve. And then you try to find a training activity where you can actually stretch yourself with respect to that particular aspect.
And a conference call with Dr. Erickson basically decided that, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 10,000 hours.
The 10,000 hours, I guess, is a finding that shows that even the most talented individuals have to spend at least 10,000 hours of a very particular kind of focused study to be successful in music and ballet and all sorts of sports.
When I kind of had the aha moment was around my 30th birthday in June of 2009. And then a couple months later, I told my boss and everybody around that, come 2010, I was going to quit my job and dedicate myself to becoming a professional golfer. As most kids, you play a couple sports here and there. But from the age of 18 to 30, I'd never been to the gym. I never had any practice or games. I played on a kickball team in Portland for a year, and that's it. That's my limits of athleticism. We never made it past the first round of the playoffs. I went with golf for a number of reasons, because originally I was thinking about it. You could honestly do anything, and that's kind of the point of the project, is to use a vehicle to show people that anything's possible if you're willing to put in the hard work.
At first glance, it's pipe dreamish. It's what we all kind of think about. He's got the desire, that's for sure. But yeah, I was pretty skeptical.
It's something that I always felt that if I had unlimited time, unlimited resources, and nothing to do other than hit golf balls, I felt I possibly could have tried something like that.
I had about between 15 and 20 seconds for him the first day I met him. It was just another Yahoo, I want to try to, play the PGA Tour. I've never played before, blah, blah, blah. And I don't have time for that at all. So I told him he should probably think about playing tiddlywinks or tennis or chess or something easier than golf. Because as a guy who's played, as a student and player of the game for 40 years, I know how hard it is. I know how many hours I put into it myself just to get to my level, a club professional level. I was insulted by it, frankly.
He pretty much just denied me right off the bat. But I kept on emailing him more and more and more, and eventually he arranged a meeting where we could sit down and kind of talk about the project.
It's better.
I decided, hey, this is a very unique project, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, not only for Dan, but for myself as well. In golf terms, you start from the hole or next to the hole, and you work away from the hole. That's how kids learn. That was the inception of the Dan plan, is we started him literally next to the hole. I'm talking 1 foot away from the hole. That's the first thing that Dan McLaughlin did, is he hit one-footers with a putter for a couple of weeks.
This is Dan playing day one. We're at Broadmoor Golf Course. It's about 45 degrees, on and off rain, windy, and we're putting from a foot away today.
1,600 hours into it and over a year into the plan, and he's just graduated in the last month or so to an 8-iron.
As far as progress goes, I think that I'm doing well, but it's hard to really know because there's nobody to compare myself with. The real goal in the Dan plan, outside the stated goal of me making to the PGA Tour, is to show people what's possible in life.
Do I think he's crazy? I think most everybody's crazy. I think everybody's born crazy, and then some people stay that way and some people don't. I really admire what he's doing now.
I'm trying to go into something and master something that there's pretty much only 150 truly successful PGA Tour golfers out there.
I think he can do it. I think he could pull it off. It's a real long shot, but I think he's got a shot.
I don't know that he can get to the level where he thinks he can, but I do think he can become a pretty good golfer, maybe even play some competitive golf and have a lot of fun doing it.
If I could make it in that sense, then anybody, say if you're 40 years old, you could become one of the 10,000 plus doctors in America.
As a scientist, I think it's much better for me to just try to support him to try to get as far as he gets. Wherever he gets, it's going to be very interesting.
I think he's doing it more than anything to show people what can be done with the human spirit if you put your mind to something.
I mean, really, it's just to try to show by example of what's possible in life if you're willing to actually put in the hard work.